Going.
Hmm.
Hi, so today we have another amazing interview with Nawras artist Salman Soofi. I am very happy to have the guest from Turkey, and let's go ahead and meet him. Hi, Salman. Please
Yeah,
introduce
hi.
yourself.
Okay. Uh, I don't know where to start. Because you said from Turkey, I don't associate myself with any country anymore because I'm more for the world, for the planet, for the peace. Okay. So, if you want to, if people are interested where I was, like, I've been traveling around in different countries and I have lived many places. Yes, at the moment I'm based in Turkey, and it's a beautiful country. Istanbul is a beautiful city, uh, and because of this traveling in different countries, it gives me a lot of inspiration, a lot of it is very important for my creative sense, because when you observe, you meet, and you see different cultures and different people, you can really you can express it in your art. So that's what I do. I actually get inspiration from different parts of the world, and I live and I feel it, and I understand what how people behave, how people live, and this gives me a lot of inspiration.
I'm just very curious. How did you get into art? How you became artist?
Okay, this is also a very interesting story. I was horrible in drawing in school, and my mother was very worried. And I hated art. I hated drawing, and I hated doing, because it was such a pressure. I was good in studies. I was good in science and maths and other things. I was very good, but when it comes to art, me and my mother really, you used to panic because I was not able to draw an apple, and I still cannot, because drawing is not my forte. My forte is painting, and I always thought in my mind that I can paint, but I never painted and I never tried till I was 40. I was always afraid of art, and I was always thought that I cannot draw, and I never took a pen. And I still, if you give me a pencil now, I'll be really drawing and struggling really bad. I'll not be okay to draw very well. But when you give me a brush, it is just something, the tool which works with me. Some people are good with pencils and pens, and some people are good with brushes. So I'm the brush person, or maybe I'm the finger person, because sometimes when, like, I'm doing oil, or even water, sometimes I cannot. I don't care whether I'm using a brush or my fingers, and I do it with the fingers also, and I use my hands and fingers just directly on the paint. And sometimes I got so much into drawing with painting with hands that I started, my fingers skin started hurting me, and then I, got into water more. And that is not the only reason why I got into water. Water was the reason because of my constant traveling and moving from one city to another and one country to another. It was very difficult to move oil paintings from one point to another because they need a lot of space. And I did a lot of oil before, and now, since I'm moving a lot, I decided to do more water because it's easier. And I have not painted for last 3 months, but before 3 months, in one month I painted around 50 paintings. So it can be always like, a crazy time when I want to paint, and sometimes I don't paint at all, because I teach. I'm a teacher. That is my main profession. But painting is the second one. But it is not like I paint for myself first, and then if somebody buys it, I'm happy. But if nobody buys it, it is more of an expression. It's the message which, through my paintings, I want to, send across. So that is very important.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. I love that how you got in art. So
Okay, how I got in art. Okay, so I always thought that I can paint abstract,
yeah,
and then one day I decided to paint, and we bought canvases, and like I started, and then it was like 6 years ago, no, 7 years ago, when I was 40, and now it's 7 years. I had a couple of exhibitions, and then I had interviews and things like that, and it's going on.
okay,
So
great. What are current projects you are involved, or now you're just resting and getting inspiration?
yeah, I'm in a hibernation mode at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm just hibernating in winter. I don't know, I'm doing some because I told you I was doing a lot of oil before, and now water, and yeah, it's a nice medium as well, and it's interesting. And what I did is, since I'm a self-taught artist, I don't believe in any boundaries or anything like that where you are like I've never studied art or I've never gone to a school. So I'm totally an illiterate artist in arts language. So I don't have any boundaries. For example, I can use brushes which are used for water into oil paintings, and when I do oil, I do it with a very thin water brush. I have done some paintings with that, and in one painting, I can destroy around 5 or 6 brushes. You know, they are very soft and thin, and when you use them in oil, you destroy it. And I can lose 6 or 7 brushes in one painting. Uh, but and water also, I am using water more like art oil. I don't mix water. I have watercolors, but without water. I just take the tube and I use sometimes the tube itself directly. I don't mix water, and I do abstract with watercolor, which is rare. I don't know whether a lot of artists are doing watercolor abstracts. I think water is done more for realistic work. So I try to break rules. I this is maybe it is my nature. I don't like rules, any kind of rules.
Okay,
So
now I am curious, and I think other people might be very curious to see your artworks. I see some you have behind you. Maybe you
yeah,
could show
some of them
comment.
are behind me. Yeah, it would be nice if we can see it from my website or from Norris, because there are some oil works which would be interesting for people to see with the more they have more interesting
Yeah,
story.
yeah, of course, I understand what you mean, but like I have this idea that maybe showing, your like real size, real look, it can maybe bring some more insights and
Okay,
understand.
okay. So then what we can do is uh, we can take some of the from here, because these are more at the moment the works which I have with me are more color works, not my real work, which is more like which is having a message mostly. Like I have
Okay.
paintings which are done for immigration, for example. It is very important. Is it possible to somehow see them on screen, if we can, if it's possible, because those paintings are more important, which are
Yes,
with the message.
I can screen share. I don't know if you can.
No, no, I cannot. You can. Should I send you my uh, website, or on the Norris? There are many
You
paintings.
can send your website. It would be interesting to see if you
Hmm.
have. Just type me in the message here.
Hmm. Uh, okay. I'm just trying to type it.
Yeah, did you manage?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just sending it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can
You-
screen.
Yeah, this is the one.
Mm, okay. Do you see a website?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay,
Okay.
this website is showing more of like my eyes are covered. It shows that I don't do something which I see. It is basically what is there in my subconscious. So that's why the eyes are covered in the website. Because usually
Okay.
people, when they see this picture, they always ask me why the eyes are covered.
That's very interesting.
Uh, which one is that?
I know you can comment anyone you like. I think this is mostly watercolors, like the last ones.
Yeah, the last ones. You can yeah. These are now they are more with the oil, which is down, and the top ones are mostly watercolor. Yeah, in watercolors also, I would like to share something. We can go on the top. This
Yeah.
is the painting which is actually here. This is the one which is a watercolor on the top. The
Which one?
third from the left. Third from the left. Can you see this one?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see this one.
Yeah.
But
It
if
is a
I'm
very it's a very interesting story behind it. You know, what do you see in this when you see this painting? Yes, yeah.
what I see in it, oh,
Yeah.
actually, it's kind of like a cave, like almost like a like diamonds or in the rock. No.
Okay. Yeah, but most of the people they see Mary carrying Jesus. It's like an abstract.
Okay.
Can you see that? Like the brown part, which is like holding a
Yeah,
baby?
I can see it gives a little bit of Christian feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the funny thing is that the painting has been done at that time when I became an atheist. I don't usually paint religious paintings, but it is just happens. I have no control on this is I always tell in my interviews, I have no control over what is going to come to the end result. I am painting, and I will tell you honestly what I was painting. I am in Turkey, and it's a very beautiful tower here, which is one of the most important landmarks. It's called Gilata Tower, and I thought, why don't I paint that? And since I told you from beginning, I cannot look and paint, so I just kept a picture in front of me, and I walked and seen Gilata many times, and I tried to paint Gilata Tower, and then I go into my trance and into my this sort of what you call it, feelings or emotions, or I don't have control, and then kept on painting and end up with painting Mary. So it's more abstract, and it's Mary, and most of the people, when they looked at it, they seen Mary there, and I seen it her as well. But that's how the painting appeared in the end. So I usually start with something else, and it can end up, you know, it is not controlled. That's why I'm more like a divine artist. I don't know. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God as such, as that He's sending me some revelation or something. But I feel that the concept of God which I have is mostly that there is a power in energy which is transformed into the whole universe, including us. So all this energy which is there, which is conscious, and we are all connected with that. So of course, somewhere, some message, something, it just comes. I have no control, and that's why my all my paintings are only one. There is no replica, no copy, no repetition. Like the artists are capable of repeating their art. If some painting is popular, somebody like it, they can make it in a different size, or they can make another one. I try to do the simplest one also, but once what is done, I cannot repeat it again. So every painting, if I have more than 100 or maybe more than 100 paintings, which I painted, they were all individual paintings. There is nothing which is being repeated or even the idea or something like that. Even if I tried, it came totally different.
Yeah, I can understand you, because
Yeah.
you are doing that from your intuition, from your higher consciousness. It's
Yeah.
difficult
You can call
to
it higher consciousness, you can call it subconsciousness, you can call it lower. There is a call. It, how to
yes,
Rita, take the call. I don't know how to. Yeah, there's a
yeah,
call in the middle because I'm okay. So you can call it a lower consciousness also, because if it is so low that I cannot control it. Uh, it is not higher; it is lower consciousness, because I should be able to control sometimes, and I'm really helpless sometimes. I feel like I'm just a receptor, who's getting ideas, and they are transforming, and then I'm just transforming them into color, onto paper, or onto canvas, but I don't have any control over it. So I feel very helpless. I feel like that it is just going through me. I'm the radio who's just
yeah.
playing the frequency. Yeah, who's just playing the frequency, but he cannot sing himself. But all the singers are singing, but it is just going through the radio, or an audio player or something like that. A radio will be a better example, because it is getting information and just, or internet or computer or something like that.
Some
So
people
I
would
should
call it
have more control.
channeling.
Yeah.
Some people would call it channeling. Most like
Yeah, so
spiritual people.
yeah. I'm just a channel then. I'm just somebody who is getting the information and just transferring into a different form. Yeah, which is paint mostly, and that's what I do.
But what does it mean for you to paint?
For me, it is like I used to be a poet. I used to write poetry about social things and something like that, but that was really horrible poetry. It was not so good, and plus poetry was, and I realized that poetry has become not very powerful medium to send the message across, because the world has become more visual. You have to Everybody has to see something, not to read. A lot of people cannot read also. It's ironic. Like, oh, I'm talking about, like, in one language they can read, the other one. But when you paint and you are an artist, you have a larger canvas, because even though anybody who sees from any language cannot understand what is written, but at least they can see and they can perceive. So I started doing a lot of paintings which are related to poverty, about for peace, or for a lot of problems which are in the society, or problems in the world. And I started making paintings related to that. So that became easier for me to do, and the message has become a better audience. More people can understand and more people can relate to it. So I
Uh,
made paintings about feminism, and for women rights and all that, because it was 8th March recently in this month, and there was a lot of problems, especially in the conservative world, conservative societies, where women are oppressed really horribly. So I painted about problems and situations like that.
I really like how you do that social topic. So which one is your favorite?
In
Uh,
social,
yeah.
we can go back to the what you call it, the website, and I'll show you one of my favorites.
Okay.
The best one, which I love very much, is actually with Saliha. There was an exhibition in Sweden, and which I took part. And Saliha from Norris is, I'm very grateful to her. She always, helped me to promote my work and things like that. And she actually invited me for that exhibition. It was organized by Norris in Sweden a few months back, and I couldn't take the painting back. So my painting, that the best, like the one which I love, is with her at the moment. So I will show you. It is down actually with a lot of faces.
Okay, I think your art is in good hands.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure about it.
This
Uh,
one.
it, it no, no, no. It's still down. It is going to be not in the uh, f- just reaching. I think because it's yes, this one with a lot of faces. Yeah, on the left, next to the red one, on top with a lot of faces. This one is my favorite. I think this painting I have perceived for a long time. It is called Victims, and this is what I have perceived for long time in my life, watching people dying of hunger, for poverty, and dying people in what you call it, in because of wars which are useless wars in the world, without any reason, just they are wars. And this is what I have seen all my life, and I think that's what this perception is for 40 years nearly. And then I have painted this painting when I started painting. It is in the beginning, and the funny thing is that in this painting also there are around 27 faces once we try to count them. And I have, like, I was just painting, and I was actually painting cars and with their headlights, and there were circles, and I was actually making headlights of cars, and then these faces started appearing, and I didn't know when I finished there were so many faces, and I didn't paint actually faces. And it was totally, it was my subconscious, and my subconscious have taken over my conscious, and I was not aware of what I was painting. But this is very, very close to me, the painting, and it is very sad painting. It is very, it makes me very sad also. But this is I think this is my best work, and this is a message which I want to send, that
Okay,
we should stop this unnecessarily, you know killing of each other,
absolutely
and
agree.
and help people and help people with this one. Okay, more social. We can go up. I can show you more social work. uh, there is this one, which is immigration.
This one?
You can see
No, this one.
the one which is yeah, this one. This is immigration. This is to show people, standing in queues. Again, done in the time of, with a lot of people from Syria were migrating to, because of this war which is, imposed on them, and a lot of civilians who have moved to Europe, and they were standing in queues and all these things. And this was a very strong impact, and how people were suffering, and when they were on borders, and it was very cold and all that. So I just you know felt it. And then I was playing with, I don't know what I was painting, but in the end it came out to be more like an immigration, where people are standing in queues, and waiting to save their lives in a safe haven.
I like the painting. I love composition. What did you
Okay.
use? What medium did you use?
This is again those paintings which I have, the last one and this one, with watercolor brushes, but oil paint, black paint. Just that's it. It's direct canvas, and on that it's only black paint.
Okay, that looks like very dry. Thank
Okay.
you.
One more thing. Down, down, down. Next to it, there is one more. Yeah, this one. This one is actually, I call it a modern slave, which is actually now it has become very real, where a person with connected with a chain or with a rope, and it has his mobile, his laptop, with this all this watchful eye of Big Brother, or social media, which is accumulating all the information and sending it to governments or whoever they are sending it. So all this is the modern slavery, because you get all this information, and you are connected to all this media, and you cannot disconnect yourself. You cannot even imagine uh, switching off yourself. You are like, if people will not see you on social media for some time, they will start assuming that you have some problem. Like if today you close your Facebook and your Instagram and let's say LinkedIn or some other programs, you just switch them off and completely disconnect from it for some time, and people will start inquiring about you, whether you are dead or alive. Because they're used to seeing you virtually more than yourself. Because anyhow, because of pandemic, now we are not able to see each other physically, so it's more virtual. So we are just a social media slaves, and we cannot free ourselves from it. It is impossible, because we are more virtual now than physical. We have become more virtual beings, you know.
Absolutely agree, and I think we need to change that. We still miss that connection with people.
Yeah, yeah, we need that connection, but it is how the world is becoming. We are becoming more and more virtual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and thank you
Okay.
so much for sharing it and being virtual tonight.
Yes, 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 we are. So, should we go further? Anything more
Okay,
social?
yes, just for one more, maybe another painting, and we can let you go. I know you're a busy person.
No, I,
Okay,
I, I, I am, I have like maybe um, 20 minutes more if you want. If you are not busy.
okay, let's go for another 5-10 minutes, and we can
Okay.
finish.
Okay,
So
there is one on the left side. I will, which is with the buildings. I have lived in countries where, like in Dubai, also, where there was a lot of buildings
I'm talking about
and
this.
towers, and all this. This big towers. Usually, people get very inspired from, and I see them like this. This is my because they are very, for me, they are very ugly. I like architecture. I like architecture which is more beautiful, and not just glass buildings and towers. If it is like Taj Mahal, or it is some cathedral which is very beautiful, or it is some other architecture, or the pyramids, or anything, but not the glass buildings. This is being very not creative to create like this. I don't know why people have just become very, construction and all this architecture has just gone into all these towers. They're not very beautiful for me, and they are so many and so big and so huge, and everywhere, that they just press on you, and they are so big, and you don't have breathing space also because of them, because they can be created in very small place. Very small cities and towns has buildings and towers which don't let us breathe. So that's what I see them like that. I'm not against it. People can make it, but they should not stop making beautiful buildings also, because all this beautiful architecture which we see is also a form of very beautiful art. I'm really inspired by the architecture, and that's why when I go to countries where they have this old architecture. When I was living in Russia, for example, the cathedrals and the palaces, they were amazing. They're so beautiful. But then they have this all these towers, which are, at least the towers are on one side. Yeah, they are not just destroying all the beautiful architecture, and then they are just making towers. So that's what I don't like.
Yeah, all towns are very valuable. I can agree with you absolutely. We
Yeah.
need to preserve them. Uh, Another painting. Which one would you like to share?
We can go up, I think maybe from something newer ones with watercolor. Maybe we will come up with something which is being done for um, you know more um
You have many
no.
faces.
Yeah, many faces. Uh, Maybe with water. Um, no, these are all oil still. We can go to the water. This one, little down, more down. Under this woman. This is yeah, this upper than this one.
Okay. You mean
No,
the
yeah, yeah, the woman's face. This
okay.
is like this is uh, this is a sex worker, which is from um, which is very common in India and Pakistan. They are not this high level of escorts. They are sex workers. They are really poor, and they have a very horrible life, and they are treated in a very bad manner. So that's why I just did this portrait, because I have seen them, because I've lived in Pakistan also, and I have seen them in movies also and all that. So they are in documentaries, for example, and they are having a very horrible condition. So this was a painting to show how much uh, pain and how much suffering they have. So I tried to show that suffering and pain in their eyes, in their face, because this is a very they are in a really horrible condition, and that everybody hate them, because all these societies, they don't accept uh, you know this sort of work, and they are really hated in the society, and they are being treated very badly. So, you know, I don't know. There are NGOs who are trying to help them. I think they should work more to help them, to take them out from this misery which they are in.
Yeah, I really appreciate your your depth, how you go deeply into such little known, maybe even and little noticed subjects.
Hmm.
So much for
Yeah,
sharing.
because unless you don't feel the pain of other people, you cannot express it. It becomes sometimes very difficult. I paint something, and sometimes it's very painful, and I have a student. She's a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and when I painted this, she looked at it, and she immediately wrote to me on Facebook. She said, "Are you okay? Everything is fine with you?" Because you're feeling this. She feels so much pain, and she said, I can feel in your painting so much pain that it can make it horrible for you to perceive so much pain and then transfer it. And I'm sure you're going through a lot of misery and pain. So she tried to she always check on me that I'm not going to suicide or something. No, but I'm okay.
That's good to know, because this
Yeah.
painting is definitely very like it's I can feel the pain, I can feel how heavy it feels. Um,
Yeah.
so now we had some heavy social things. Do you have something light to share to finalize our interview?
Okay. Okay. We have something which I can share live, which is this is a bride, and you can see it now. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a bride with a watercolor. I
Yes.
just felt the emotions and feelings, and when a woman is getting married, for man it is okay, because I got married 2 3 times myself, so I know how how men feel about getting married. But for women it is something which is very important. It's very deep, and it's very emotional, and they, although they are emotional beings, women are more emotional than men. And then when they are getting married, they have this, these emotions are coming out. So all these colors which I have used in this painting, it is basically showing all the emotional self. That's why there is no face, because I didn't purposely didn't draw a face here. It's just blank, because I don't want to show emotions on the face. This emotions are coming out from everywhere from her body. It's in different colors. So that's why, especially, I called it a bride, and didn't paint a face. I just kept it blank and just showed the colors and the happiness and the beauty, and all that. So I think that is the most positive one which I've done so far. Yeah.
This is good. We also touched some social issues. Perfect.
Mm.
And with
Mhm.
some lightness and beauty in the world with love.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, of course we have. Yes, and we want it to increase more. That's what we are here for. All the creative people and artists and singers and actors. What we need is more love and more, tolerance, and no less extremism and no racism. So
Absolutely.
all yeah, that's what we are here for. That's our job, to make
Yeah.
sure that the world will become a better place to live, and we will not have all these wars, and we will not have all these differences, and people don't hate each other, and they become one, and we are one species, human beings, and we are all the same, and that's what is important, humanity, you know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Salman, for sharing
Yeah.
your insights and for touching very deep and especially now very important subjects. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Lots of
Thank you
love,
very much.
peace and love.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Same to you, and stay safe, and
Thank you too.
keep up the great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.